Hey y'all, Dr. A's NBA back with another story about shoes. I'm not sure what's more interesting about this one, whether the fact Clyde Drexler gave me a pair of his shoes or the fact that they are kangaroos that have a lot of interesting points about them that we'll get to in a minute. So the year was 1985. Clyde Drexler and the Portland Trailblazers were in Indianapolis playing the Pacers. I don't remember a lot from that night, but I do know that Clyde gave me his shoes at the game. Now, if you don't know who Clyde Drexler is, he went to the University of Houston. He played with Hakeem Olajuwon. I've also got one of his shoes from back in the day before he added an H to his name. These are Hall of Fame players. They went to back-to-back Final Fours in 82 and 83 in Houston. And Clyde was just one of the great dunkers and really one of the great NBA players of all time. He was sort of like Scottie Pippen, I guess you could say, except he didn't have a Michael Jordan to go along with him. He was taken kind of late in the draft. I don't know why, but anyway, so Clyde went out that night, racked up 18 points, 5 boards, 9 assists. Portland won the game 136-104 over the Pacers. I don't really remember the interaction after the game that well. But basically, the operation was that I would go to the hotel, talk to the player before the game, and then after the game, you could just go stand right outside the locker room, which is not something you can do today either. So I'm hanging outside the locker room. Clyde Drexler comes out, and he's like, "Here you go, man," and he hands me his kangaroo, and he signs it here. It says, "To Steve, best wishes." And then over here, it's Clyde the Glide Drexler, number 22. And as you can see, this is a kangaroo. They were called roos. Canvas with some leather. Just pretty awful sneaker, if you ask me. So I get Clyde Drexler shoes, right? All-star, one of my favorite players in the dunk contest. Just such a big coup for a little kid to get a pair of shoes like that. I guess it would be the equivalent today to be getting, I don't know, like pair of Trae Young shoes after a game. It's a pretty big deal. So the best part of the story to me is a couple months later, the NBA All-Star game was in Indianapolis that year. And of course, I was running around with Terrence Stansberry. Terrence Stansberry was in the dunk contest. I was friends with his brother. He would give me rides to Pacer games. I actually went to Pacer practices. I rebounded free throws for Vern Fleming and Clark Kellogg. I just lived a kind of insane life. But anyway, of course, Stansberry hooked me up with NBA All-Star tickets that year. But my brother and I, because my favorite player of all time, Dominique Wilkins, was in the dunk contest. We bought dunk contest tickets ahead of time and paid $5 for them. And today, to get a dunk contest ticket, I don't even know, $2,000, $1,500, something stupid. These were $5 for All-Star Saturday. We're sitting right in the basket where Dominique dunked on and actually won the dunk contest that year. The dunk contest ends, and because I'm running around with Terrence Stansberry, who was in the dunk contest, Statue of Liberty, I end up back by the locker rooms again, and Clyde Drexler comes walking out of the locker room with his bag over his shoulder after he just got done with the slam dunk contest. It's like, oh man, I'd like to have a pair of Clyde Drexler's shoes from the dunk contest instead of just a regular season win over the Pacers in front of 3,000 people. So I go up to Clyde. I'm like, hey man, great job today. Do you think I can get a pair of your shoes? And he's like, yeah, I can do that. He goes, hold on. He puts his bag down and unzips it, pulls his shoes out, looks at me. He goes, oh man, you trying to double dip? He's like, I just gave you my shoes like 2 months ago, right? And I was like, yeah, you did. And I actually kind of felt bad about it. But he caught me. Good job, Clyde. I should not have been trying to do that anyway. He's like, man, we got to give other kids a chance. Like, you can't have all the shoes. I was like, you're right. My bad, I feel bad. But back to the shoe itself. So they're kangaroos, and the shtick that kangaroos had was every pair of kangaroos had a secret compartment, a pocket, such as a pouch that a mom kangaroo would have in it. On these, the tongue actually velcros together and apart and creates a little secret hiding space that you could hide all kinds of stuff in there. Who knows what. And the other thing that I just noticed, I've had these shoes for 40 years, and I noticed that the left one, the Velcro strap is upside down. So there is actually a manufacturer's error in Clyde Drexler's game-worn Ruse. And I guess that's all I got. All I know is you can't buy kangaroos today, and you can't try to get a pair of shoes from Clyde Drexler twice, because he'll call you out on it.
Perfect. Yeah, that is going to be, because that tagline, talking about weird things like weird intros, is going to be, you can't.
Should I do that again? Because I kind of stumbled on it. Take two real quick. I'm just going to do that last line.
Sure. Go farther back than you think, and then continue.
But, one thing's for sure in today's day and age. You can't go buy a pair of kangaroos because they don't exist, and why would they? They're crazy. And the other thing you can't do is you can't try to swindle Clyde Drexler out of a pair of shoes twice because he'll call you out on it.